Sox first pitch tonight.
Am I? Well, we just had some things we got to get fixed up.
You getting a little extra work with the freshmen out there?
Yeah, making sure they know what our expectations are around here.
As you look at the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, or whatever, you've gone through a lot of injuries, 2 quarterbacks, 2 centers, Yahoo Sports Report. What have the 6 weeks been like for you?
It is a lot of injuries. I don't know if we've ever had this many. It seems like before. I'm sure we have, but it just seems like a lot. Injuries in the secondary, injuries on the line, and running back, quarterback, everywhere. And but you know what? I mean, that's what I do. And fortunately, with our program, I try to prepare a lot of guys to get ready to go. We recruit guys to come play, and a lot of guys have gotten opportunities that maybe weren't thinking they were going to get opportunities, and they've taken advantage of them and done a great job.
If I told you all those injuries and all those kind of situations that happened, say in August, where would you think you would be now?
Well, I don't know. I'm sure I would say, hey, I hope somebody steps up and next guy steps in and does their job, and and that's where it is. It's always hard. You never know when you come into a season, right? I mean, I was looking at the teams we faced and showed them that 28-10 or something, and one of the hardest schedules in the country. You might not have thought like the first half of our schedule actually, opponent record-wise, is tougher than the second. Is tougher than the second half of our schedule. No one would have guessed that.
Like a 1 to 2 game difference between the second half of the schedule, though, so it's not like
yeah,
playing.
It's not. It doesn't soften up all that much for us, but. So I mean, that's part of what it is, and but you didn't know how that's all going to play out when the season starts.
Have you seen guys step up like you were hoping they would in those situations?
Absolutely. I mean, and there's some guys haven't stepped up as much as they need to, but I think they've learned that and had an opportunity, and they've taken advantage of that opportunity. Maybe right at that moment they didn't, but they made sure they got themselves ready to go in the future.
We talked about that 4th and 4th, 8-yard line. How much did Devin Bell's struggles play into that decision?
None. I'm sure he would have made that. I mean, he would make that over and over. I don't know. If we'd have lost the game, I would have been called a dummy, and we won the game. So I guess smart. Whether it was a smart move or not, I don't know. It's one of those gut feelings you have. I mean, it was just looking at the situation. I just had the gut. I felt like, hey, this is a situation I want to go for. I think we can get it. Almost did.
Are you worried about, because you've talked about Devin from a mental standpoint, and him trying too hard, and trying to kick him too hard? Are you worried about losing him mentally after this struggle?
You know what? He's a pretty mentally tough kid. He's done a really good job this week at practice of not worrying about his technique, his fundamentals. He's been really good at practice this week. It's just working technique. We changed one little thing on his plant foot with that. And, when you talk to him, he's very professional about doing his job. It's not like, the world's coming to an end. We adjusted one thing with his plant foot, and it seems to be helping. And he's very conscious of working on that stuff.
You mentioned this morning about the third and on both sides of defense and the 2-minute thing. How do you address that this week?
We've done some 2-minute situations at practice. You just, you just try to make sure guys, it's one of those deals you don't always get the intensity of a real 2-minute situation sometimes in practice during the week. So, this is an opportunity where we can turn up the intensity in that and pick some situations to change and work on it a little bit more.
Last time you had a bye week, you gave the guys a weekend off. What's kind of the plan for this weekend?
Well, we've got right now tomorrow's a Monday, Friday's a Tuesday, then they're off till Sunday night if the academic report comes back good tomorrow at my academic meeting.
Holding them accountable.
We're here to get an education. So.
You did mention trying to get some guys healthy. I mean, how are they coming along now this week?
Good. We'll see. We've held a lot of guys out the 2 days we've practiced this week. And even the guys that are starters, they just did a little bit of more individual stuff and just 2-minute, kind of choose what we want those guys to do and get a lot of young guys reps. So.